Hello everyone, this is part 3 of What If Naruto Was the Hero, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. The group of Suna and Konoha shinobi made their way through the desert. Everyone from Suna and Guy Sensei, along with Kurenai Sensei, seemed fine. It was Naruto, Hinata, Sasuke, Lee, Tenten, and Neji who were having problems. It was also clearly noticeable that there was tension between Hinata and Neji. Naruto wondered why, but didn't want to ask Hinata, as he wasn't sure she would react. Don't let it bother you, Lee had said when Naruto had asked him for some advice on the matter. There's always been tension between the main family and the branch family of the Hyuga clan, especially lately. Neji-kun is especially hateful of them, for reasons only he knows. But it seems like Hinata-chan and Neji-san especially don't like each other. Why is that? Naruto had asked. Lee sighed. Hinata-chan is the heir to the main family. Neji is the heir to the branch family. Despite the fact that Hinata-chan is the heir to the main family, many of the Hyuga clan think that Neji-kun is more suited to the position. It's really unfair, considering the fact that Neji-kun is older and more experienced. Comparing the two, people think he has more natural talent. Naruto was really starting to dislike the Hyuga family now, except for Hinata of course. But that's not true, Naruto said strongly. It's just that no one believes in her or encourages her. If people could be convinced to believe in her, then she would truly be able to harness her potential. Lee smiled and bent down on one knee in front of Naruto. The group had paused to take a break now. But people do believe in her, Lee told Naruto. Kurenai Sensei believes in her. And several of her fellow genin also believe in her. But most of all, and I think she considers this the most important thing of all, you believe in her. It's your belief in her that is her main drive now. She thinks that it's your belief in her that's her greatest strength. Really? Me? I'm no one special. No, you're wrong, Lee corrected. You have the ability to naturally see who people really are. You see Hinata as she truly is, you see how much she doubts herself. And you, using your naturally big heart, really want to help her. And not to make yourself look better, but as a true friend. She's trying to please you just as much as she aims to please her father. He pointed to where both Hinata and Gaara were. You also saw how much that young boy needed a friend. He sensed your sincerity, which is why he must be responding more to you. I don't think he would have opened up that quickly to you otherwise. But of course, Naruto exclaimed, the Hokage should always aim to put his people before himself. He's there to serve the people, protect them. I also want to make my father proud, despite the fact that he has to protect the village. And to do that, I aim for the highest position. In order to protect the people of Konoha, I won't rest until either I, or another who truly wants to protect the people of Konoha, sits in the position of Hokage. Lee smiled and ruffled Naruto's hair proudly. Should that day come, Naruto-kun, I'll be happy to drop the kun on your name and replace it with Sama. You'd be a good person for the job, he said with a voice full of pride as he walked away to grab some dinner. Naruto smiled and ran over to join Hinata and Gaara were. Naruto-kun. Hinata gasped as he nearly made her jump out of her skin. Here, some food, she said, handing him a plate with some food on it. Naruto took a bite of it and found this food to be just as good as his Car-san's. Is it good? I hope I didn't add too much spice. You made this? Naruto asked. Hinata nodded. Yeah, I wasn't busy and Yashimaru-san looked like he needed some help. She answered shyly. Oto-san doesn't encourage it, but I really like to cook. It's really good, Hinata-chan. I can't tell who's better, you or Car-san. Hinata beamed at the compliment. Hey, Hinata-chan, just be yourself. Maybe if you excel as yourself, your Oto-san will see you with your full potential. Just because you're a Hyuga doesn't mean you can't be Hinata. Hinata went to sleep that night very happy. Hinata was happy that she knew that Naruto accepted her just as Hinata. Naruto-kun, she murmured softly as she drifted into sleep. Yashimaru, who was on watch, smiled faintly as he heard this. Naruto-kun must be so happy in his village. And there's certainly a few happy people there as well, if Hinata-chan is anything to judge by. Yashimaru thought. His ears picked up footsteps coming their way. Frowning, he looked to the sky. Baki-san knows about the approaching sandstorm and will prepare according. But anyone else should be trying to find shelter, as we're nowhere near Suna. Who could be approaching us at this hour and what do they want? Knowing what to do, Yashimaru woke all of the adults in the group, as she had been instructed to. Baki-san. People are coming our way. Baki woke up instantly. Wake the children. He ordered. We aren't taking any chances. Yashimaru nodded and ran to wake all of the children except for Gaara, who hardly slept, and was already awake. All the children came awake instantly. Be ready, Yashimaru said. Something may be wrong. They all nodded, making sure that their leg pouches were ready to be gotten into at any moment. Yashimaru-san, what's that weird noise? Naruto asked. He heard a strange, almost rushing noise coming from somewhere. It was almost about to wake me up. That, Naruto-kun, is the sound a sandstorm approaching us. We've taken precautions and will still travel through it. But everyone else should know to not travel during this. That's why we think something may be wrong. Yashimaru answered. Explosions rocked the area and everyone covered their faces with their arms. Naruto-kun. Hinata called out from amidst the confusion. Naruto followed her voice to where she was and found her as she stumbled about. Her ability with the Byakugan was not yet good enough to see through the smoke, and now sand, clearly. Don't panic, he said quietly. Stay by me, I'll guide us back to the others. They might know what is going on. Hinata nodded blindly, comforted by the fact that Naruto's hand was firmly in hers. But how can you tell? How did you find me? Hinata asked. Naruto shushed her. I have very good hearing. Just don't let go of my hand. He informed her. He himself half stumbled through the smoke and sand. As he proceeded as silently as he could through the chaos, he picked up a faint noise. Watch out. He swung Hinata around behind him as he heard metal being pulled out. Pain ran through his arm and shoulder as he blocked the kunai attack that was meant for Hinata. Naruto-kun. He heard Hinata exclaim. Are you okay? I'm fine, he said with gritted teeth. Defend yourself but stay near me. Follow the sound of my voice. Hinata's hand trembled as she pulled it out of Naruto's. And have faith in yourself. Right, she said, her voice shaking as she spoke. I won't drag Naruto-kun down. I'll make him proud, she said to herself mentally. She activated her Byakugan, hoping even poor use of it would help her. But instead of her vision being just as bad as before, which was blurry and unfocused, she could now see perfectly. She wasn't hindered by bad vision. But now wasn't the time to ponder her huge jump in control of it. I'll make you proud, Naruto-kun, she said softly. Naruto heard this and grinned, knowing something miraculous had just happened with the girl he liked. Don't make me proud, he said as he charged his opponent and lancing out with a punch. Make yourself proud of your own ability and SKS. The man Naruto just punched burst into smoke. It had been a clone. Not letting the fact that he was half-blind bother him, he fought as best he could. Naruto and Hinata ended up back to back. Naruto was covered in small cuts, as he couldn't block all of the attacks thrown at him. Hinata had no injuries as of yet. We can't go on like this, she said. You'll end up mincemeat at this rate. Hinata saw Naruto shake his head. No, I'll be fine. These are already healing, he replied. Can you tell where any of the others are? No, Hinata said. I don't think they're anywhere near us. Otherwise they would not let us fight alone. Naruto nodded in agreement. Then we have to retreat. As much as it bothers me, we just can't win. After we escape, we'll find the others. Naruto ordered. Right, Hinata said. But how do we escape? She asked. You don't. Their attackers said, both charging at once from opposite directions. Naruto's instincts rang out loudly in his mind and he dropped to the ground a split second before his attacker reached him, dragging Hinata with him. Both yelled as they impaled each other with their own allies' kunai. Come on, Naruto said, dragging Hinata along with him as ran. We could use this as our chance to escape. That won't stop them for long. Hinata began to run under her own power now. But they still held hands as they ran. Hinata, can you see any better than me? She nodded. I'll guide us to a safe place. Just follow my lead, Hinata declared. Hinata took the place in the front now, scanning the area for a place to lay low for a little while. We won't be able to find the others in this sandstorm. It's better to find some shelter and wait out the storm. She led Naruto to a small cave she had just noticed and they escaped the fury of the desert. Phew, they said as one, leaning back against the wall. They looked at each other and burst out laughing. Both had black smudges all over their clothes and faces. But Hinata stopped laughing as she Naruto's clothes. The jacket he wore was in shreds. Naruto noticed her looking. These are fine, he said quickly. Hinata pulled out a tube of something from her leg pouch. Take off your shirt and jacket. These accelerates the healing of injuries and we can use what's left of your jacket for bandages. Naruto obliged, knowing she would never believe him until she saw it for herself. He watched her eyes widen as she saw them heal right before her eyes. How is that possible? She asked in shock. I've never seen anything like this. I have a demon sealed inside of me. My body serves as its prison. But because of the demon's presence in me, I have heightened senses and a very fast healing ability, as you just saw. He looked to see Hinata's reaction to hearing this and was relieved to see that she still liked him. One of his greatest fears was that he would be hated for something that was out of his control. But I have a question for you, he said with a grin. What do we do until the sandstorm passes? Well, Gaara-kun is safe, Yashimaru said with relief as the sandstorm began lessen up a little, though it was still kind of bad. Now we can double time it back to sooner, Yashimaru said as they finished dealing with their enemies, many of them beaten senseless. We can't return, Kurenai said gravely. Yashimaru gave the Konoha Junin a serious look. Have you not noticed that 2 of us are missing? Kurenai demanded. Gaara and Lee were the first ones to notice who was missing. Yashimaru Oji-san, Gaara asked, where are Naruto-kun and Hinata-chan? I don't know, Gaara-kun. They probably took shelter from the sandstorm, Yashimaru said gently to his nephew. We'll look in every cave and other place that could be used as shelter. If we don't find your friends by the time we reach sooner, we'll send search parties out here. Our allies are very important and we won't let them be called MIA. After all, Naruto-kun is also the son of a very important man. A man who saved the entire shinobi world from a great evil. Who? Gaara asked. Naruto-kun is the son of Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage of Konoha. Yashimaru answered. Gaara gasped, remembering the lessons he had learned about the demons and those brave men and women who had stopped them. Naruto-kun is the son of him, the Yellow Flash of Konoha, the Yondaime Hokage. He asked incredulously. Yashimaru nodded. I won't let him and Hinata-chan not be found. That's good to hear. Now let's get busy. We have a big job ahead of us, Yashimaru said. ... Well, the sandstorm has lessened a little. Maybe we should try to find the others, Naruto said. Hinata shook her head at this. We should stay in one place. They're probably either searching for us or will send search parties for us when they get to sooner. If we move around, we'll most likely only make the situation worse. Naruto sighed at Hinata's words, knowing she was most likely right. Well, alright, but what do we do in the meantime? Naruto asked, already looking bored. Well, Kurenai-sensei was right anyway. Something went wrong. You know, Naruto, we never did get to go out for ramen. Maybe when we get back, we can get some. And invite Ten-Ten-chan and Lee-kun too. I would say Sasuke-kun too, but Hinata trailed off into silence. Yeah, I know, Naruto said. He's a bit distant, antisocial even. He wouldn't accept our invitation even if we did extend one. It's understandable, given the burden that he's shouldering alone. But we can only let him live his life as he sees fit. There's not much else we can do, he said gravely. But for the ramen idea, I say we do it. Maybe consider it a celebration once we get back. He laughed softly. Your Car-san might never let you out of the house again, you know. You've only been on 2 missions now and each time something bad has happened to you. First you get KPED, and now this. Hinata joked with a grin. Naruto shrugged. I'll convince her to let me leave the house, he said, also joking. After all, she knows of my dream. Hinata looked confused. I want to become the Hokage someday, just like my Otu-san. Though I never knew him, he was a great man. Hinata was awed by the shinobi that sat next to her now. Naruto-kun, I'll be with you the whole time as you try to achieve your dream. She swore. I seriously think that you can do great things. Naruto grinned. As can you, Hinata-chan. But I was just thinking about something important. Naruto mentioned, making Hinata curious. You still like me, don't you? Because I still like you. Of course. Hinata stammered. I've liked you for ages now and don't think I'll ever stop liking you. Why? Naruto shyly placed a hand on top of hers. Because, as Gaara-kun said, if two people like each other, they should date. Do you want to be my girlfriend? He asked with a huge grin on his face, making Hinata turn rose red. Naruto mentally prepared to catch her should she pass out. Me? She demanded. Naruto nodded. Then yes, I would. Naruto pumped a fist into the air. Yes, he shouted triumphantly. Then he groaned. How long does it take them to find us? I've never had much patience. The sandstorm stopped eventually. The rest of the group continued on their way to Suna, keeping an eye out for Hinata and Naruto. Kurenai, though extremely worried, did her best not to show it. She had faith in the two missing from her team. They stopped again for the night, Kurenai and Yashimaru taking the first watch. Naruto and Hinata had decided to sleep for the rest of the day and travel that night, as it would be cooler. Naruto and Hinata had decided to get moving despite the fact that it was smarter to stay put. Naruto was going stir-crazy in the cave, as was Hinata much more slowly. But they had to be careful though. All their supplies were with the others in the group. That meant they had no food, water, or sunblock, which was also another good reason to travel at night. They wouldn't have to worry about the heat or the sun. All of their other supplies were also gone. But they could deal without those for a while. At least it's not super hot now, Hina-chan. Naruto said, calling her Hina-chan ever since they had started to date. We should find them soon. Hinata nodded, still not sure how her Otu-san would react to her going above his head and getting a boyfriend. He had been saying something for quite a while now about his finding her a suitable husband. Yeah, she said lightly, pushing her family concerns out of her mind for a while. If we don't give up, it'll be fine. Naruto slapped her on the back now. That's the spirit, he declared, looking up fondly at the moon in the sky. To think, we will always have an unusual way of getting together. Who else can say that they got together in a way like this? Well, Otu-san might have something to say about it. Hinata stated with a nervous laugh. I'm pretty sure he's already considering who he wants me to marry. Probably a high-ranking member of the main family knowing him. Naruto squeezed her hand encouragingly. Maybe we should just deal with that when the time comes. Naruto was looking ahead of them now. Is it just me or do you also see the campfire way ahead of us? Naruto inquired, looking with her Byakugan for better details. Hinata saw it too. There is one. Naruto, can you do something for me? She asked. Naruto nodded. When we get back to the others, don't say anything about us dating. Neji will tell Otu-san if he knows and I want him to find out from me, not my cousin Neji. I won't say anything until you're ready. Should we approach the fire? Naruto asked kindly. Hinata nodded. But let's use caution just in case. It could be the others or those who attacked us earlier. Naruto nodded in agreement. Kurenai kept her eyes and ears open as she sat on watch, her mind going to Naruto and Hinata instinctively. Are they okay? They may be shinobi, but that does not change the fact that they are only 12 years old. If we don't find them, what will I tell Kushina-san? And the Hyugas. The Hyugas will be the ones I dread to tell. Kushina-san will be upset, needless to say, but she'll at least be understanding. At least I can hope she will be. Yashimaru walked by Kurenai, knowing where the Junan's thoughts were. She was tempted to try and comfort Kurenai. But she didn't, knowing that Kurenai was struggling mentally about the problem of Naruto and Hinata being missing at the moment. I have to have faith in them. Naruto won't give up until he becomes Hokage. And he certainly won't let anything to happen to Hinata. she thought. A small hand touching hers brought her back to reality. It was Gaara, dark brown eyes filled with worry. Kurenai-san, I won't be getting any more sleep tonight. Can I keep watch with you? He asked quietly. Kurenai nodded. I wouldn't worry about Naruto-kun and Hinata-chan. I know they'll be fine. Kurenai wished that she could also know that. In fact, I'm sure they're trying to find us now. Maybe they'll be back tonight even. I wish that I could share the same feeling you have, Gaara-kun. I keep thinking about what I'll tell their parent in Naruto's case. Kushina and Naruto are alone in Konoha. Because as you know, his father is S. Kurenai said. Gaara almost managed a sad smile. I think we should have food and water ready. All their stuff is here. They'll probably be hungry when they return. You'll see. I have faith in them. Naruto-kun especially. He's someone special. Everyone else, when they first meet me, is afraid of me. But Naruto-kun wasn't. I hope that we can still be friends after this mission. Gaara told Kurenai bravely. Yashimaru walked over to Kurenai and Gaara. I thought I heard something. I'll go check it out and be back in a bit. Kurenai nodded, as did Gaara. Make sure everything is fine here while I'm gone. Again, they both nodded and Yashimaru stalked off into the darkness. She returned a few minutes later, two young people in tow. Even in the darkness, they could tell who it was. Yashimaru had found Naruto and Hinata. Hi, Kurenai-sensei. Hi, Gaara-kun. I hope you weren't too worried about us. Kurenai shook her head. I had faith in you too. Gaara-kun did too. Are you two alright? She asked. Both of them nodded. But while Kurenai believed Hinata, she didn't quite trust Naruto's answer, as his jacket was in shreds. Then why is Naruto-kun's jacket and shirt shredded? Kurenai asked skeptically. I got cut up a lot by kunai. But I'm fine. All the cuts are healed by now. See. Naruto lifted up his shirt and showed them his chest and back. No signs of any injuries could be seen. I have a really fast healing rate. I see. Kurenai said, unable to see anything contrary to what he said. You two get something to eat and get some rest. We're continuing to Suna as planned. She ordered. Both of them nodded and went over to the fire, being led by Gaara, who was glad to see his friends safe and sound. Their mission was now complete and the Konoha shinobi were almost back in the village. The Hokage knew they were coming, as Kurenai and Guy had sent a message there via Hawk. It should have reached its destination by now. Oh man, Car-san is going to flip out when she sees me. She might do as Hinata-chan said and not let me leave the house again. Naruto groaned. Everyone except Neji burst out laughing at this. Lee patted Naruto on the back consolingly. Cheer up, Naruto-kun. Lee said. We'll be home soon. And I'm sure your mom will be understanding. We'll just have to wait and see. She should at least know you're safe by now. They passed through the gates now and were not stopped. Everyone could tell that they had been in the desert. They were all sunburned. While it wasn't to the point where it was hurting them, they were all slightly red. Naruto, who had a naturally tan skin tone, was the least burned of them all. Good mission, team. Kurenai told Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke. Go home and we'll meet tomorrow at noon in the park. Dismissed. They all scattered, Sasuke wandering off somewhere, probably to his apartment. Naruto walked Hinata home first. We have to get Sasuke out of his funk. Naruto said. I don't like seeing him like this. We need him to feel more involved, as he is a part of this team. Not to mention our friend. Hinata nodded. I'll be talking to Otu-san about us this evening. Hopefully, I'll have good news when we see each other tomorrow. Hinata said as she walked into her huge house and shut the gate behind her. Naruto caught a glimpse of some of the younger Hyuga kids wave excitedly at him. Naruto tried to wave back in time but he couldn't be sure if he waved in time. With a long sigh, he started his way back to his house. As he came into sight of it, he heard frightful yelling coming from inside. You just came back from a research TS. He heard his Car-san yell. The person who was being yelled at mumbled something in response as Naruto walked inside and took off his shoes. Naruto couldn't the response. Alright, but you had better not turn him into a pervert. I don't know when Naruto will come back, but he had a successful mission apparently and is on his way home from Suna right now. His Car-san said. From Suna? Didn't he just graduate from the academy? Genins don't usually get missions like that until they get some experience. They should only get missions from around the village, like manual labor. An unfamiliar voice said. He heard his Car-san sigh. Usually you're right. It was an escort mission, one that was supposed to have no problems. But apparently he and his teammate, Hinata-chan, still managed to get separated from everyone else during a sandstorm. The unfamiliar man laughed wildly at this. Don't laugh. Something bad could have easily happened. Naruto heard a note of sadness in her voice. Remember who his parents are. There is, of course, you. And you're not someone to mess with lightly, even during your temporary retirement. And no one can forget who his other parent was. If he's not naturally strong, considering both sides of his family's heritage, I would be shocked. Naruto knocked politely and entered the living room where he was hearing the voices. Both of the adults looked up as he entered. Kushina was standing in front of a fallen chair. And behind that fallen chair, a white-haired man was picking himself off of the floor. Who is this man? Naruto asked himself as he looked up and down at the man. He had white hair that stuck up all over the place. Car-san, who is this old man? He asked bluntly, causing the man to fall again. Kushina laughed as the man scowled. Naruto, this is your godfather, Jiraiya. And he's not old, despite the fact that he has white hair. He has white hair naturally, from birth. Kushina said. Naruto looked skeptically at the man. Jiraiya now also looked over his godson, whom he had not seen since a few days after Naruto's birth. Naruto was covered in sand and dust, as well as being slightly sunburned. Jiraiya almost did a double take. He looked so much like his old student, Minato. It's nice to finally meet you, Naruto-kun. I'm Jiraiya, your father's sensei. Also, as you just heard, I'm also your godfather. Jiraiya extended out a large hand to shake his godson's and Naruto shook it hesitantly. Naruto was wondering where this man had been his whole life. In case you're wondering where I've been researching. I'm a novelist. Jiraiya-san, Naruto asked cautiously. Are you the Jiraiya, a member of the Sannin I learned about in academy? The one who summons toads. Jiraiya nodded. Then you're the author of Ika Ika, those pervy adult L novels. Naruto stated. Jiraiya started to sweat. You have a good head on your shoulders, kid. I'm also called the Toad Sage. Jiraiya said nervously, making Kushina laugh again. Hey, if you want, we could go out and get something to eat, you know, to get to know each other. I'm moving back here, and I want to fully embrace the position of your godfather. Naruto grinned at this. Hey, Kushina, wanna come? Jiraiya asked. I have stuff to do around here. Besides, this'll let you two get some alone time. But first, Naruto, you are going upstairs and taking a bath. Kushina ordered, pointing upstairs. And when you get back from eating with your godfather, I want to hear about your first out-of-village mission, okay? Naruto grinned and raced upstairs. They heard his bedroom door slam as he left his room to go to the bathroom. That kid is a bundle of energy. Jiraiya noted. Yeah, he is. Kushina agreed. It was a nightmare trying to keep up with him as a child. I went to bed exhausted every night. Just think how I would have been had I continued to do missions. But, she paused, he's strong. He's a good person, always wanting to do the right thing. His stamina is off the charts, even at this level. And his chakra amount is the same way. But it's his healing ability that's the most amazing. He can recover much faster than the normal person from injuries, no matter how severe the injury. Is that from the demons sealed in him, or is it natural? Jiraiya asked. I don't know. Kushina answered. I think the healing comes from the demon in him. But the high chakra and stamina levels are from his father. Looks-wise he takes after his father. But his personality is from me. He is a natural at ninjutsu, semi-good with taijutsu, though he is good friends with Rock Lee and is training with him concerning taijutsu. And he has never really needed to learn genjutsu. But if he's anything like me, he'll have tons of trouble with it. Kushina grinned. You raised him well. Jiraiya told Kushina. You should be proud of you and of him. I think any other mother would have had major trouble with a kid like him. Kushina turned to glare at Jiraiya. Are you trying to suggest that my son is a troublemaker? It's true that he likes to play jokes on people every now and then. But he is no troublemaker. He could easily achieve his dream and become Hokage someday. Kushina smiled fondly now. I'm so proud of him. And to think that he has the potential to do whatever he wants to. Would you agree with me teaching him some techniques? Jiraiya asked. Kushina looked at him again questioningly. Not my pervy ones. No, I would like to teach him 2 techniques. He held up 2 fingers. One is the Rasengan. It's only fair that he knows the technique, since it was his father's original technique. And 2, I want to teach him how to summon toads. Again, naturally, since his father also summoned toads. I'll leave that up to Naruto. After all, this is him we're talking about. But if I know him, it'd be hard to stop him. He wants so much to be like father. As she spoke, Naruto came running down the stairs again. He wore clean clothes, meant for casual days. I'm ready, he said to Jiraiya with a huge grin. Jiraiya looked to Kushina. I'll be taking him out to eat now, he told her. Kushina nodded and both of them got their shoes on and left. They went to the barbecue place in town. As they waited for their order, Jiraiya mentioned the techniques he wanted to teach Naruto. They will not be easy to learn, and you'll seriously need to put all your effort into them. But I think you can do it, Jiraiya explained. Naruto's eyes lit up. These are some of the techniques your father used when he was alive. I think he would have wanted you to know them. Their food arrived. Here is your order, Jiraiya-sama, Naruto-sama. Please enjoy. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask, she said and left to deliver another group's order. Only 12 years old and they're calling Naruto-sama? Jiraiya asked. Naruto nodded as began to cook his food. A lot of the older generation still call me that. But my teachers and friends use kun instead of sama, which I prefer. It doesn't matter what my father did or what I unintentionally did, I'm no one that important. Also, those who aren't close to me still use sama as well, he explained, carefully watching his own food as he spoke. What? You aren't going to eat? Oops, sorry, he said, starting on his own. I was listening to you so intently, he explained with a smile on his face. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.